things are much better, in much better shape than a couple of years ago. If looking at Portugal, Spain, or Ireland, or Cyprus, the countries are, or some of those, 3 out of 4 have come out of the financial assistance program. The economic growth is quite good. The number of jobs, new jobs, is quite phenomenal in many of those countries. And the only really problem is Greece, but now we know at least what to do with Greece. But the stability in financial market has improved quite significantly, and many things are in the same level as they were in 2007, except investment. So that is the reason why the Commission wanted to concentrate on investment side of the economy. So we want to create new market in order to give new opportunities for investors, and also we want to address the market failure by creating EFSI, which provides risk financing for private investors. I think it's a very right choice, because of course traditional industry can renew itself, and it can create new jobs, but the more you invest in research and development, the better, because this is the way how you can create added value. And that's very good for Malta also. As a small economy, it should not be too dependent on 1 or 2 areas of business. Because if there is a shock in some area of business, Malta should not be too dependent on this one particular area. But R&D related investment usually creates more or new ideas, new enterprises and new businesses. Well, of course it has some price tag, and that is the reason why we have to find a European solution. We have to share the burden, and it's a question of fairness, and it's a question of efficiency tackling the issue. Another issue is that if we do it wrong, if we cannot give opportunities to people who deserve international protection in our countries, then those people could stay as long-term unemployed, and it might have negative impact into long-term economic growth. But at the same time, when we are tackling or addressing the current flows of people and challenges, we have to think very carefully how to integrate those people who will stay in our societies the best possible ways. Europe is aging quite fast. We need labor force, and some of those people who come to Europe as refugees could, from their part, address this challenge what we have. So the faster we can create new jobs, the faster we can integrate newcomers, even refugees, to working life, the better. So it might have an even positive impact in the long run, but it depends very much on the policy choices. Yeah, one must be always cautious to look at the size of the public sector, and I come from the country where the size of public sector is very, very big. I come from Finland, and it's half of the economy comes from public sector. It's even too high, even though the public sector is providing good services for people, and it helps to achieve economic growth. But as I said, you always must be cautious not to expand public sector too much. Also, when talking about public sector, you should make a difference between publicly produced services and publicly financed services. So in many countries it makes a lot of sense to outsource some of the services production to private sector, even though the public sector would be responsible of the quality or of the financing of the services. So it's not black and white issue, but one must be very careful not to build too heavy public sector, which is too heavy for taxpayers to finance.